All right, here we are at the port captain's office. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, fingers crossed. Got my binder with all of my stuff. Ooh, she's so organized, you might say. Talking to myself at the port captain's office. All right, nobody here.
Hey there, bro.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, bud?
Good. Very good.
What's so special about today?
Well, excuse me. My alarm clock just went off and it says checkout day. So we're checking out at Isla Mujeres, Mexico. Yeah!
That's
so
very
excited. Yeah.
So how long have we been here for?
Gosh, we've been here for like a year and March, April, May, June. A year and 3 months, which is a lot longer than we ever expected to stick around in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's been cool, and I was actually just like thinking about how far we've come and how I'm nervous, but not as freaking terrified as I was the first time we started cruising and the day we left Key West. You know, that was actually so stressful and exciting that it was like otherworldly, you know, like too much for my body to handle.
Yeah, like it's almost not even positive.
Yeah,
because you're just so anxious.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm really excited. I was really nervous about leaving for a while. I think I just got really stuck, and like Isla Mujeres is so safe. We know so many people. We know the anchorage. It's not a mystery. And so the thought of leaving kind of got me really nervous. I don't know why. I've never really been like that before.
Sailing into the unknown, like you said.
Yeah, but it was more than that. It was like I liked stability, which, you know, I grew up traveling, so I always gave up the idea that I would have any stability. But anyways, yeah, so like it was weird for me to really want to hold on to Isla. But I guess it's because, you know, sailing is so, anything can happen out there. And I guess I realized that when we dragged and when I saw other boats drag and all the repairs we've done, I see all the stuff that can happen out there. And anyways, so, yeah, but anyways, when we did that race, I don't know what happened in my brain, but it just like clicked. Like I just saw Atticus as this thing that needs to move again. And then we've been sailing her a lot, and we problem shooted the engine. I totally stocked the boat up with food.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and like checking out of Isla Mujeres, like on the surface, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. You know, we're leaving the place that we got stuck for a year after we started cruising for like 2 months. But the flip side of that is, like, if you look at us leaving Key West, like that was a huge accomplishment. That was almost like a life-changing, like, accomplishment for us. You know, we brought this trashed, neglected 50-year-old sailboat back to life and got it ready to cruise and left the United States. I mean, that was huge. And so looking at us leaving Isla Mujeres, like, it seems like that's, you know, nothing in comparison to that. But we did accomplish a lot here, and leaving Isla Mujeres signifies a huge accomplishment for us. And that accomplishment is we basically were able to build a sustainable lifestyle that can allow us to keep cruising and make money while we cruise. And so between, like, you know, fiberglassing jobs and you doing canvas jobs and then, you know, making videos as well, like, we left Florida with $2,000 in the bank account and no guarantee that this would happen. So when we left Florida, yes, we had accomplished you know, getting a boat ready to cruise, but we had by no means like accomplished making a lifestyle that would allow us to continue to cruise. Like there was a chance that it just wasn't going to work. I remember my dad telling me like, well, if it doesn't work, like you just go back to the States, you know, what's the big deal? So the risk seemed minimal because if we failed, then we just go back, but we succeeded, you know? And so instead of going back to the States, we're going further away from the States. And so that's a huge accomplishment in my book. And so I can't wait to, and then on top of that, I just can't wait to start cruising again, because it's fun, you know? I can't wait to be going to new places, and, you know, my favorite thing is to read like a cruising guide, like cover to cover over and over again. And so this is our cruising guide for Mexico and Belize, and just like read about the little places we're gonna go, and just in my free time like learn about what the anchorages are like at different spots and how to approach, and like try to internalize all that, and then arrive there and have this like knowledge base and know what to do and where to go. Like that's like the coolest feeling to me, you know, to go somewhere you've never been in your life, and because of like black and white line drawings, you know, like being confident and capable at like navigating into certain areas and getting to places that are just really, really cool. So I can't wait to go check out the atolls off Belize. That's what I'm most excited about. So just a couple more days and we'll be heading over that way.
All right, well, it is time to go to the port captain's office and check out of Isla Mujeres. I'm so excited, and say goodbye to this lovely, beautiful oasis that we've called home for the last year. It's been awesome. All right, here we go. All right, here we are at the port captain's office. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, fingers crossed. All right, wish me luck. Got my binder with all of my stuff. Ooh, she's so organized, you might say. I'm talking to myself at the port captain's office. All right, nobody here. Y para verificar necesita mi lista de tripulantes, mi registración y mi pasaporte. Entonces, so they're saying due to the weather, they're closing the port, so no one's allowed to leave. Especially with vessels as small as Atticus, but we told them we're actually going to leave Monday morning at about 4 a.m. So he said that's fine. So he's going to issue our zarpe and we're going to get out of here. Woo! Okay, so I'm just waiting for the paperwork to process now. Kind of gives me queasy flashbacks to when we were here a year ago, checking into Isla Mujeres for the first time and dragging anchor without knowing it. So that was a really crazy day that I'm glad is in the past. Okay, just coming out of the bank. The way they do it here is you have to go to the bank to pay your exit fees and then go back to the port captain's office. Yep, kind of makes me think of the first day we came here. We were so excited but exhausted, and like we came from Cuba, which had like no civilization in a lot of places that we were going to. I mean, it had civilization, but it didn't have a lot of commerce. And it wasn't really geared towards tourism, so like seeing things like this was kind of like a culture shock for us. And I remember just being so excited about finding a cheap restaurant and just like chowing down, because we had been cooking on the boat for a long time in Cuba. All right, well, we're all set. Got our exit paperwork, 2 copies of the zarpe, or 3 copies of the zarpe, and our crew list. And a copy of our crew list. All right, all done. Let's go to Belize, as they say in Mexico. What you doing, bud?
Well, right now I'm filling up our water tanks with these jerry cans, but I've got a ton of stuff to do today. I've got a full freaking day.
What's on your to-do list today?
Well, today I've got to fill water tanks. I've got to fill up on gasoline for little shit. Gotta top up our diesel. I've got to clean the bottom of little shit, and then hoist her on board, pick up the laundry. I buzzed my beard, so check. Got a little filming to do. And yeah, that's everything. So anyway, I've just got a whole bunch of stuff to do today, and yeah, just it's gonna be a full day, that's for sure.
And how are you feeling about finally leaving tomorrow?
I'm really nervous, like really nervous. And like I shouldn't be, because it's not like a huge passage. We're not going super far. You know, it's a little bit of a challenging passage because of the current, you know, just like the last time we went to Ascension was hard, but it's mostly simply that, you know, we haven't gone on a passage in a long time. And something I've been learning about the boat is, you know, I don't know if we just haven't had enough experience yet, but I'm starting to think that like that sort of like emotional preparedness, like that ability to like take your boat offshore without too much anxiety, just like anchoring without too much anxiety, you know, dealing with your boat in situations that could be potentially be adverse, you know, the ability to deal with that well emotionally. I don't think it's like riding a bicycle. I don't think like once you've done it enough you never get concerned again. I think it's very much how much have you been doing that regularly lately, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like if you're going on passages very regularly, you mentally like strengthen yourself to the point where you can take on those emotions and those anxieties gracefully. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you don't do it very regularly, it's nerve-wracking is what it is, you know? My brain is just filled with thoughts of like for instance, there's a tropical wave that's gonna come through, and it, you know, I'm gonna keep my eye on it and make sure that it doesn't form into anything, but like regardless, there could be squalls, and it's just like, oh, I'm like, oh my god, squalls, no. But it's like, squalls aren't that big a deal, you know? You shorten sail and you keep going, like get over it, you know? So I guess what I mean to say is, like, I think that our lesson, my lesson that I've learned from being in Isla Mujeres for the last year is we can't ever like not sail for that long ever again, you know? We've got to use the boat once a week. We've got to go out on overnight trips, you know, at least once every like 2 months, you know? Maybe it'd be nice if we could do it every month, like sail overnight somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know, keep ourselves mentally in that place where we're comfortable, like sailing this boat and sailing it offshore, you know? A certain level of anxiety is always good, you know? There's that phrase, the sea floor is full with the bodies of optimists, you know? So it's good to be pessimistic a little bit and to have a certain amount of anxiety, but it's, you know, there's an amount of anxiety that is excessive and stops being helpful. And I think I'm at that point right now. And so to avoid that in the future, we've just got to keep moving the boat and going offshore.
All right, sorry it's a little loud in here. I got all the fans going and we are charging the batteries with the engine. So it is pretty hot and loud down here. But my job right now is to kind of destroy the main cabin so that I can figure out where to put all of my sewing gear. So I've got like everything all around. I feel like I do this like once a week, especially when we're getting ready to leave. I just take everything out and then figure out ways to put everything back in again. A couple things I did today was I made this little storage bin. I'm not sure if you can see, it's kind of dark. Made this little storage bin out of canvas, and so that I can put in our like shopping bags right there. We used to shove them in over there and it would just get really cluttered and hard to find what you're looking for. A couple of other things I did today. Well, also, if you notice, I'm like really into hooks and bungee right now. So I went to Home Depot about a week ago and just got a bunch of hooks. So let's see, so I hung this up, which is our sextant. It previously was taking a lot of room in our closet, our only closet on Atticus. And then this is our tripod. It used to also kind of not really have a home, but right now it's taking up this space which otherwise isn't used. So pretty excited about that. Also got some hooks for my snorkel. I like having my snorkel on the interior of the boat ready to go rather than having it in our cockpit lockers because I just like having it really accessible and not squished, and I don't want the lenses to get scratched. So what else? Oh yeah, so this isn't exactly like the prettiest of solutions, but I just stowed our extra life vests to the cabin top right there, because if you think about it, they take up a lot of room when they're like in our closet, which they were before. So now we have almost an empty closet, and I'm going to try to put a lot of my sewing stuff in there, and just kind of put the boat back together again before Jordan comes back and freaks out a little bit. You can also see we went grocery shopping, so I got a bunch of carrots and cabbage and onion. Those tend to keep really, really well. And then I bought these green like 2 days ago, and they're already ready to be eaten, so we'll have to be having some banana pancakes underway. Then we've got a huge cabbage here as well. And then eggplant for me usually lasts like 3 days outside of the refrigerator, and these have already been out for like 2 days, so I've got to find room in the refrigerator for them, maybe cut them up. We don't refrigerate our tomatoes usually, so if you wash all of them, I mean, tomatoes can last for like, I don't know, a month or so. And I like getting the small ones because, like the cherry tomatoes, because if one of them is rotting, you can just throw it out the window, versus if you have like 3 or 4 big tomatoes and one of them starts going, then you have to throw the whole thing away. So yeah, the other trick I learned was padding our wine with socks. So I bought a bunch of socks from Home Depot, or from Costco actually. Also, I'm really excited because our friends at Cocopelli Sailing Adventures sent over this back brace for me. I threw out my back like 3 days ago. I was down for almost 2 days completely. Now I can actually stand and move around without too much pain, but I do feel it kind of tweaking a little bit and getting a little bit weak. So our friends who just started sailing and dropped the hook in Isla Mujeres about 3 days ago on their very first overnight cruising passage, they sent us this back brace, so that was really nice of them. So anyways, wish me luck, and I'll show you when the boat looks beautiful. Just like I dream of Jeannie, it'll be beautiful. All right, bud, what you doing?
We are dismantling the dinghy.
Woo!
And gonna bring it on board.
Nice.
Which, like, yeah, that really is just like that. There's no turning back, you know. Once the dinghy's on, we're committed. So yeah. I'm excited.
So the boat's all ready to sail tomorrow?
I mean, we are pretty much ready to go. I've got to do small stuff, like just some stuff that's on deck that needs to get stowed below. But the sails are all up and ready. Yeah, we got the head sails, you know, tied on to the upper lifeline, so either the jib or the Genoa is ready to go. And then the sail covers are off, the main and the mizzen, and I mean, we're pretty much ready to rock.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. I cannot wait. Let's go. Okay, go ahead and take up. Alright, yeah, she's on there. Cool, dinghy next. So we got everything on board. We got the outboard, the fuel can, and our dinghy bag all under the dinghy. And then time to just tie her up. like our friends at the bar, it feels like, you know, like the afternoon before a big game or something. Like I've got that like excitement verging on anxiety, and like I just want to do it, you know? Like right now, not being underway, it's like I feel all anxious and stuff. If we could just be sailing, I'd be happy as a clam, I feel like. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow morning.
All right, well, everything's on board and the sun is setting and it is 6:35 and I'm getting ready to pour Jordan a cup of tea. He's relaxing a little bit.
Because I'm not drinking today, so it's kind of a big deal.
And then we're just going to kind of relax and try to fall asleep. I'm making a couple snacks for tomorrow. And then we're gonna hit the hay and set our alarm clocks for first thing. I think we're both pretty exhausted, even though we tried to give ourselves time today to relax. But that's just kind of how it goes, I think. But yeah, I'd say we're both excited as well. Yeah, here we go. Buenas noches, yes please.
Why, thank you. That smells delicious. I'm excited to, you know, start being on an adventure again, you know, I think for a long time now. Isla Mujeres stopped feeling like an adventure and started feeling like just a place that we live. And, you know, the one thing that I'm sure I'll feel more sad about it once, you know, the excitement is worn off. And I remember feeling the same way about leaving Key West, like, you know, is just saying goodbye to the friends that you've made. And in a lot of ways, like, that's probably the biggest sacrifice that we make of all the sacrifices that we make to live this lifestyle, is to always say goodbye to the people that you end up learning to get along with or learn to love or, you know, get real close to. Along with, like, not getting to see your family all that much. It's like you know, I think humans generally like to, like, grow roots, and you do it you do it without effort, and, you know, constantly pulling up those roots or keeping them from really digging in is probably like the biggest price you end up paying for a lifestyle that I think most people think is really cool, but they don't realize that that's kind of a big downside to it. And you know, I know we'll see a lot of the cruisers frequently down the road, but yeah, you know, it is tough to just almost miss out on that aspect of life, that aspect of, like, long-term relationships, you know, long-term friendships and stuff like that. So anyway, so that is a little sad, saying goodbye like that. I don't feel so weird about saying goodbye to the place, and I think that's just a consequence of us liking to travel as much as we do. But, you know, saying goodbye to our friends here is kind of a bummer.
Well, last night in Isla, I'm feeling really, really tired, and Jordan and I are being testy with each other, and it's funny because we're so different. So when he gets stressed out, he really, really needs to talk and get his emotions out. And when I get really tired and pushed to my limit, I go quiet and I just want to be alone. So on a small boat, it's not really ideal. So we'll have to talk through it and, you know, work it out. But yeah, I guess I'm feeling finally peaceful now that the sun's setting. Finished all of my duties, made Jordan some food, made a snack for tomorrow, got some B-roll. So yeah, now I'm feeling a lot more settled. And yeah, I just feel grateful that we got to know Isla Mujeres the way that we did. I kind of grew up traveling a lot, so I'm used to moving around a lot. And for me, it takes about a year before I really kind of look back on a place and start missing it a lot and feeling that intense nostalgia. So I know Isla Mujeres will definitely be that for me. Right now, I'm just kind of happy to get back on the traveling bandwagon. You know, we've seen so many boats come and go since we've been here, and we've just been working so hard to make enough money to continue cruising again. And that's kind of how we felt when we were in Key West. You know, a lot of people go there to experience a beautiful place, and they drop the anchor and then move on. And it's hard to not get envious when you see people coming through, and Isla or Key West just being a small stop on their adventure. But now we get to join the ranks of other travelers and make one stop after another, just like everyone else. So we're really excited, and I'm really proud of us. I think we've both come a long way with the boat, with our ability to market our skills, and with our videos, and figuring out how to make them better and make kind of a business out of it so that we can sustain doing this long term. So yeah, I think Isla made us into really great people. I guess I am getting a little sad now. But I'm just happy to get out of here. Happy that everything, all the work's done. And we just have to sail. So, yeah. Until tomorrow. Or on to tomorrow. Hopefully we have good weather and fair sailing. And hopefully I can come around and give Jordan some time to talk about, you know, why I've been testy or quiet. And like always, we'll forgive each other and move on. But right now I'm just tired and I just want to be in my own head.
Oh. Hey guys, so spoiler alert, we are currently in Belize.
You better believe it.
You better believe it, that's right. So we've been cruising for about 2 months now, and so that means that we're only about 2 months ahead on our videos now, which is good. We're a lot closer to current than we used to be. Mm-hmm. But as we've been cruising, we haven't been coming across a whole lot of internet, and that's been a little bit of a challenge for us lately.
Yeah, so we haven't been doing any YouTube live streams, even though we definitely plan on doing a lot of those down the line. But what we have been trying to do is a bunch of Facebook live streams. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and check out our Facebook page. We post a lot of more like real-time updates there. And you might have a chance to hop on to a live stream with us and see what we're doing real time. Yeah, and it's just a really cool way for us to get to interact with you guys in a much more like intimate sort of way. Yeah, so check it out and make sure to catch next week's video. See ya. All right, see you next week.